introducing to you are the national referees. First referee, Willie Mutuma from Kenya. Second referee, Atan Kimani from Kenya. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you are the starting lineup for DCI. Wearing jersey number 5, the captain of DCI, James Momoa. Wearing jersey number 6, Caroline Sirengo. Wearing jersey number 10, Kelima Sianu. Wearing jersey number 12, Paris Canus. Wearing jersey number 14, Masi Iniza. Wearing jersey number 15, Sarah Namisi. Libero player wearing jersey number 2, Penaya Nabula. Head coach, Daniel Bob. Now introducing to you the starting lineup for Kenya Prisons. Wearing jersey number 2, Lorraine Kaye. Wearing jersey number 7, Yvonne Wavinya. Wearing jersey number 8, Joanna Gerard. Wearing jersey number 11, Luis Jepkoske. Wearing jersey number 14, Melvin Sangay. Wearing jersey number 15, who's also the captain, John Luceneka. Libero player wearing jersey number 9, Elizabeth Wanyama. Head coach, Joseph Baraza. Thank you.
A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the third and the last day of the 2023 Kenya Volleyball Federation's National League playoffs, where a match just started between Kenya Prisons facing it off with DCI. Both teams lost their matches yesterday, Prisons Kenya losing it to the Pipeline Company volleyball team, as well as DCA losing it to KCB. As a result, this match is a determinant in who finishes third in these competitions. My names are Florence Bosire. Very happy to have you on set. And Prisons Kenya seem to be on a high note, starting by leading the scores 4 points to 1 for DCI. They narrowly lost the fourth set yesterday. So unfortunate that those costly errors happened at that particular point of the match yesterday, costing them the possibility of finishing second or even getting a point or two during that particular match. As always, it's a pleasure having you. We look forward to your comments, your feedback, any questions you may have. Keep it locked because we have some goodies for you today. Begin, there will be some questions that will be coming your way. The first one to answer automatically gets a hoodie or a jersey from TVC. Lois Taru serving for Prisons. Mumbua Mercy with that point. DCI get their third point of the match of the first set. Caroline Sirengo goes on to serve. Remember that this live coverage is coming to you courtesy of the TVC Volleyball Club. Of course, many thanks to the Kenya Volleyball Federation's Executive Committee for allowing us to bring you this action at the comfort of your homes. That costly service by Sirengo, sending the ball flying out of court. Lorraine with that service. Jemima Mbua Mercy. She seems to be maintaining her momentum so far, having started on a high right from the beginning of these competitions on Monday. Mercy with that service. Elizabeth Joy Meldina, who it's obvious that should she had come on to the court earlier on, the results possibly for Prisons Kenya, especially in their match against KCB, would have been a totally different outcome. We accept it and move on nonetheless. Clearly the coach, Jos Baraza, wanting to rectify on that mistake today. Well, there it is. Prisons still at the service, at the lead, 7 points to 5 for DCI. Sarah with that service. Meldina. Sarah picks it. Mumbua. The ball is out of play. Again, lack of consistency and the repetition of the same mistakes that have been happening throughout these competitions. There it is. Another solid block by Joy Lusenaka, stopping Jemima Siamu right as she attempted to make that point. Medina serves it. Penina picks it. A goal retrieval by Yvonne Ovinya. Lois picking on that rebounds. Not so good. A set from Joy. Jemima, does it go across? No, it doesn't. That hit did not go across the net. And the service once again by Meldina. An attempt at making that kill that doesn't quite prove to be fruitful. Timeout for DCI. Prisons maintaining the lead. A 6-point lead right now. Kenya Prisons 11, DCI 5. Remember, like I had earlier mentioned, that we will be having some goodies today for you. Make sure to be keen, make sure to be the quick again at giving the right answers, because the first person to get the right answer will walk away with a hoodie or a jersey with the TVC logo. The second one will also get something. This is the first match of the day, third and the final day of the 2023 Kenya Volleyball Federation National Playoffs. There it is, still in play. That attempt at tipping that ball at the center area proving not to be quite the result that one Mercy wanted. Mumbua, Mercy, simple spin, Chelagat, Elizabeth. Lois gets a point. That net touch also a net violation by the DCI line of blocking. Kenya Prisons at 13, DCI at 5. Please take time to tell us where you're watching us from. Tell us your predictions, seeing that the final matches to determine the winner of the 2023 playoffs will be happening later. These are matches that are going to determine number 2 and 3 of these competitions. Later on, we'll be seeing KPA face it off with KDF for the same, as we prepare for Pipeline and KCB taking onto the court to find out who will emerge victorious in this very interesting competitions. Here is to that service. Wavinya picks it. And that dodge by Lusenaka earning Jemima. It falls right on the DCI's court, much to their disappointment. Chelagat goes on to serve a substitution. Mario Nindeche steps in for Jemima Siamu. Jemima is yet to bring her A game today. It's been quite a challenge for her. There it is. Marion doing what she was brought in to do and managing to deliver that point for DCI, who is currently trailing by 7 points at 8 points, and Prisons leading at 15. Another point for DCI. Mumbua goes on to serve once again for the Directorate of Criminal Investigations volleyball team. Well set. Noreen making that kill. Joy Lusenaka goes on to serve. Gua, Masi. Medina fails to pick the ball. Another point for DCI, who currently is slowly but surely it has to be Lori, Kie, Chebet who would make that point. Lois, Tarus at the service for Prisons, Kenya. Remember to interact with us as you enjoy these matches. Tell us your predictions for the final matches of the day. Tell us who you think will be crowned champions in this playoff. John Wavinya with that attack, doing her best to get that touch off the hands of Mercy. There it is. And the Lois fails to pick that rebound. Another service easily picked by Lois. And a quick attack by Chelagat. Yvonne picks it again. Medina. Mercy. Elizabeth. And that ball, unfortunately, Medina spinning it out of play. The point for Prisons once again. And Wavinya goes on to serve for the Prisons Queens. Well served. And Sarah hits that ball squarely on the antenna, prompting the referee to call on an error as the ball touching the antenna is considered out of play. Simple spin by Sarah, easily picked by Wavinya. Well, it has to be a violation on the ball. Contact. Joy Lusenaka failing to set that ball correctly. DCI still trailing by 6 points at the 14th point, and Prisons Kenya having hit the 20-point mark. Medina, another spin out of play. Sarah goes on to serve for DCI, who are currently at 15 points. Remember, I will be sharing shortly our question, the trivia of the match. There will be more for the remainder of the 3 matches for the day. Again, Medina spinning that ball out of play. DCI making that point 16, broadening that, or rather narrowing the margins from earlier 7 points to just 4 points. after that timeout by Jos Baraza. A very timely one, since things didn't seem to be going as planned. It's easy for a team to lose a match if they lose concentration. There it is, 3 points down, 3 points to go before DCI equalizes. Pamela Masaisai back on court. Lois Tarus steps out. Pamela, or rather Meldina Sande, failing to hit that ball. DCI have been consistent in gaining points for almost 6 consecutive rallies now. Really dangerous, and Prisons Kenya have been stuck at point 20 for a bit now. Meldina Sande, not the best of attacks. And ball is saved. Elizabeth, the libero. Marion, Elizabeth. Meldina Sande. Ball is still in play. Both teams. Joan Chelagat. Wavinya, or rather Mumbua. Elizabeth. Joy. Pamela. Simple pass. Will it be converted into a point? Indeed, a point for DCI, narrowing that gap to just a point behind Prisons Kenya. Prisons will regret those numerous errors. And Sarah makes that error in service, getting Prisons the break they've wanted. Pauline goes on to serve, the youngest player on the Prison side, as it is right now. Again, asanteni sana kwa kujiunga nasi tunapo peperusha mechi hizi moja kwa moja kutoka uga wa Kasarani. Kumbuka kwamba leo ni siku ya mwisho ya michezo hii. Iwapo una nafasi, tunakuomba uje moja kwa moja hadi uwanja wa Kasarani ili uweze kujionea michezo hii moja kwa moja. Baadaye tutaona mechi ya pili ya siku ya leo kati ya Kenya Defence Forces na Kenya Ports Authority, itakayoamua itaibuka namba 2, namba 3 au 4 tutakapojitayarisha kukunja jamvi la michezo hii ambayo imekuwa ikiendelea tangia siku ya Jumatatu. Novedori anasema ako fixed. Simon Mwai, all the best. Team Prisons. Mukaya Samuel Nyaruri, Kenya Prisons men champions. That's a prediction. Abud anasema all the best Team Prisons Kenya. Lutomia wa Lutomia from NYS camp, Chef Sirei watching with Brian Mandela. Thank you so much for tuning in. Well, another prediction by Mokaya, Prisons will win 3-0. Marion Indeche, powerful attack. Yvonne Wavinya not being able to retrieve that ball. Chemosi gearing on and cheering on the Prisons Kenya team. Well, shortly I'll be giving you the question of the day, the first match of the day. Remember, the rule is that you give the first answer within first 90 seconds. Remember, you stand a chance to win a TVC jersey, as well as one other fan winning a TVC hoodie. If you want to win this, please keep it locked and be keen to be the first one to give the right answers. Pamela failing to receive the ball, a call by the referee indicating that that ball did not cross the net. First set going to Prisons 25, DCI losing it at 21. Again, thank you for joining us on this live broadcast of these matches. Thank you for taking time to watch us, and we truly hope that you enjoy these matches as well as we do. Kenya Prisons taking that first set, 25-21, and here are set 1 statistics with Prisons Kenya at 25, DCI 21, attacks 16 for Prisons Kenya, 13 for DCI, blocks 2 for Prisons Kenya, 1 for DCI, service ace, both teams tying at 1 point each, opponents errors, again a tie at 6 points each. We will be taking a short break and we'll be back with the start of the second set. Are back with the start of the second set for the day. First match of the day, Kenya Prisons facing it off with the Directorate of Criminal Investigations volleyball team. So far, Kenya Prisons has managed to pick the first set at 25 against 21 of DCI. The start of the second set is underway. I am joined by my colleague, Luke Opeto. Karibu sana on set, Luke.
Morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the inconvenience that led me to come in late, but I'm well assured that flow took you according to what we usually expect. So it's the first game of the day. Expecting it to be a very good and a thriller game. Haven't been around, but by the look of things, it looks like the Kenya Prisons women's side are superior to the DCI side.
Well, a bit of consultation between the referee and the coach via the captain Mumbua J seems to have settled whatever that was, and Mumbua goes on to serve for DCI. Well served by Mumbua. It's a point again for DCI.
But instead of the second set, I think, Flo, you can take me through, see how was the first set been?
Well, the first set was well played. Prisons Kenya were in the lead for a better part of that set. Unfortunately, when they got to the 20-point mark, DCI started making a comeback, acquiring almost 6 points consecutively and almost equalizing at 19-20, as opposed to earlier on being at 14-13-20. That era would have costed Prisons had they not made a few changes with players coming on court that proved to save the day.
This shows that DCI, they can at least try and do some wonders today. But the look of what you've told me on the first set, it shows that they really mean business. But hoping that they can maintain the tempo that they have most of the time. You see, yesterday they quickly gave away the first set to the Kenya Commercial Bank women's team and eventually losing the game 3-0.
A major error by the libero, Prisons Kenya. Laureen telling her to keep going. You want the libero to be the best backcourt defender and receiver of the side. When she makes such errors, then the team is a bit shaken. Marion serves that ball out of court. An error in services. Mumbua.
Think it's a net violation
By Laureen possibly, though that wasn't the best pick by Pamela Masaisai as well. DCI taking the lead for the first time in this match at 4 points against 2 for Prisons Kenya. Ovinya, Marion
Nice.
picks it. Mumbua, Mercy, or rather Sarah. Meldina with that dodge, it's too high. Easily picked. Mercy. Well played by Joy Lusenaka.
Nice pick. And a very powerful hit by Sarah.
It's possible that we could be looking at a 5-setter here. If Kenya Prisons are not consistent in the way they are making points, DCI are not here to play.
Hoping they maintain this tempo, it's gonna be one of a game to watch. But DCI are known for at some point losing some concentration towards the end of a set.
They're not well equipped with skills to finish a match, or rather a set. That can prove to be costly. Laureen trying her best to get points for Prisons. Leo tuko na maswali. Luke, we will be asking a few questions. That for the first match, the first person to answer the question within the 90-second mark will be walking away with either a hoodie or a jersey from TBC. The questions will be coming up shortly, so keep it locked. Whoever answers first will be able to choose whether they would like a hoodie or a t-shirt. The next person automatically will be getting what the first one did not choose.
The way my colleague Flo said, stay tuned, be fast, be well with your answers. Within the first 90 seconds, we are going to award merchandise from the Trailblazers Volleyball Club. So questions will be coming in shortly as the game goes by, and we see how well our fans are conversant with this volleyball game in our country.
Well, an interesting question by Victoria. She's asking how one can get information on gaining membership or trying out for a women's team. She's asking this question all the way from the US. I think that in the current way of doing things in the country, the Kenya Volleyball League, first of all, if you are a Kenyan citizen and you are available to come for the trials physically, that would be a plus. The different teams have different ways of admitting new players on their side. That is one. Number two, alternatively, or I would think, not so sure about whether that happens, but I would think that any clips of some form of action will come in handy should you not be able to come in person and try out for these teams. Victoria, I hope that question has been answered.
It can be easier if you are physically here, so that coaches can see how well conversant your volleyball skills are, and making it easy for them to pick you over, considering that we have a lot of players in the country. So giving consideration to a player from outside requires a lot for you to gain the trust of the coaches.
Well, very, very true. I will be asking our first question of the match in about 2 minutes. So, again, be alert. Remember, if you're lucky to win this jersey or hoodie, if you're in the More International Sports Center Kasarani, you can actually approach anyone with the TVC jersey or hoodie to give you your prize. If you're away, you will contact ZL. The number for ZL will be shared shortly. You will require to send a text with your full name for verification and proof that you indeed are the one who won the hoodie, or as it is, jersey.
I think Prison's ladies are quite composing themselves, having been behind by a greater margin. I think they are closing in the gap towards the DCI's points. So the game is still tight. Few errors from the DCI part, which is proving costly to them.
Ball is still in play. A wonderful fight, unfortunately.
It's a cross from Joy. I think she tried to salvage that ball from falling down onto their court, but it was not quite lucky for her, and she eventually crossed on the midline. Service by DCI, Jane Mumbua. I think it's a net violation. I think on this set there has been almost like above 6 net violations, if I'm not wrong.
A lot of net violation. You tend to wonder, like most fans say, if the net had some electric current going through it, there'll be really, really major casualties.
A lot of casualties. So many. In the sense that when you are a coach, most of the time they say if your middle blocker doesn't touch the net in 1 or 2 rallies, that means the middle blocker hasn't penetrated, and hence he or she can't block that ball. So touching the net is showing dedication of blocking that ball. So
very, very true. Joy, Mumbua, Masi, still in play. Simple spin by Wavinya, Elizabeth, Lorraine, Joy, Pamela, Masi. The ball is still in play. Who will it be? Wavinya
And
and it
it's
touches.
the DCI floor. This shows that the Kenya prison sides are trying very, very hard to deal with the DCI young team, showing that the DCI are determined to at least win this game to show that they are a force to reckon.
Well, should DCI win this match, then clearly they get to qualify for the first time, their first maiden attempt or participation in the Africa Club Championship, seeing as number 1 through to number 3 gets a direct ticket for this competition. It also is an advantage for Kenya that Kenya Commercial Bank is the defending champions of the same. That puts us at a very, very good position. There seems to be a problem with the lighting here at Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani. That will be shortly rectified. The personnel dealing with that will be taking a hold of that in a few. The scores currently stand at DCI 11 and Prisons Kenya at 10 points. DCI still maintaining the lead. An improvement in how they've been playing in this set.
Yeah, but the look of switching off the lights, it's quite evident the lights were very sharp towards the eyes of the players. Hence, we can say it could have affected their judgment, but let's wait and see if there is any change after the switch off of the lights.
Well, Pamela is serving.
And it's
another
an
error.
This set has been dominated by a lot of error. It's either a net touch, service error, or a serve off the pitch. Quick save.
Wow, it seemed to be going out of play. Mercy, Pamela.
And there is Mercy. I think Mercy, she has been consistent with her performance. I think by the comments of guys, it's showing that people are quickly and recognizing her presence in this game. Hence, the call for her to be named in the Malkia squad. Nice pick by Jemima. And a chance ball. 2. And it's a quick side out by the DCI team. Hence calling for Coach Baraza to call for a quick timeout, since the DCI team have opened a 4 lead score.
Coach Jos Baraza calling attention to the scores right now. DCI leading by 4 points. Kenya Prisons not able to make a side out for almost 4 or 3 points in a row. DCI having a field day as they play this match. They have nothing to lose. They have everything to gain by beating Kenya Prisons today. We wait to see how it goes. Well, here is the question of the match. The question is around the road to Paris 2024 Olympics. Well, here it is. Which ladies national team was the first one to secure a seat to the competitions at the Olympics 2024? Which ladies team, national team, was the first one to get a spot for the 2024 Olympics? Remember, the first one to get the answer right either walks away with a hoodie or a jersey from TVC. Really keen to get your answers and know what who it will be. That will walk away with our goodies today.
So waiting for your answers as the time and the clock
A lot of
moves
attempts so far.
on.
We're yet to get the right answer. 90 seconds. Within 90 seconds, give us an answer. The clock is ticking. Yet to get the right answer so far. Prisons Kenya trailing at 13 against 15 of DCI. Wavinya gets a point from that
the
service. It is not Turkey. It is not Malkia Strikers. It is not Japan. Keep trying. The clock is ticking.
Keep trying.
Almost at the 90 second mark. If you don't get the answer, that gift is gone. And we are done. Out of time. 90 seconds are gone. Yet to get the answer so far. A lot of trials. A lot of us insisting that it's Turkey. No, it is not Turkey. And there we are. Somebody getting the answer right. Ruto Kelvin, indeed, it is France. France was the first team to secure a spot in the 2024 Olympics. Malkia Strikers just did the same a few weeks ago. So clearly they are not the first ones. And neither is the United States, nor is it Turkey.
So the way we anticipated with this game, the way we said, DC Higher had a 4-point lead, but as we see, Prisons Kenya ladies team have cut short the points. But from an error from Meldina, leading to the DCI extending their scores to 2, hence giving Coach Baraza a headache so that he can do a substitution. That's another error from the Kenya Prison side, leading to DCI getting another score, hence the points coming back to 3. DCI have a tendency of losing concentration at some point. This is a point in time in a set where most of the time they lost their concentration, leading to them losing a lot of sets. As you can see, that's a very, very tricky play from Joy, and getting a score and a quick side out by the Kenya Prisons ladies side.
Well, on that topic of the questions that you just asked, the first person to answer that question a little bit past the time is Ruto Kelvin, who emerges the winner. Ruto Kelvin, please contact us on 0719 811 046. Let us know how best to get to either the jersey or the hoodie. Unfortunately, there will be nobody else getting a gift today due to the fact that most of us took too long, way past the 90-second rule to get the answer correct. Congratulations, Ruto Kevin. Keep in touch. Let us know how to get your gift over to you.
So the DCI team have extended back to the 4-point lead. It's quite costly because the prisons side haven't got any, and it's as a result of their errors that leads to DCI picking up all the 4-point margin that they have as of now. Some quite untimely errors from the prison side. So let's wait and see if DCI can maintain their run of quick points, or the prisons are going to gather themselves up and close the gap and quickly transit towards the DCI side. That's a quick and accurate point by Pamela Masaisai, cross court, leaving Paris Chemtai, the middle block of the DCI, with no chance to pick that ball.
John Chelaga to that service. Mumbua sets it to. Ooh, an error right there by Jemima. She did go for that ball that seemed to be a block out of play. By so doing, she failed to control it, and awarding a point to Prisons Kenya, currently trailing by 2 points. Prisons Kenya had been leading for a better part of the first set. I do not know what is happening. Again, there it goes, an error in service. Very costly, especially for the match between Prisons Kenya and Pipeline yesterday. 24-point mark, and a player serves that ball on the net. Indeed, it costed them that set. They again had been leading for so long.
And I think it's a net violation by Lauren. I think she tried to evade it, but it was quite untimely for her to touch the net. Back to the 4-point lead by the DCI side. I think if they can maintain this lead, they might salvage and win this. And it's an error by Pamela Masaisai, which is not the best that we expect her to make it now. As you can see, this leads to a quick substitution by the Prisons women's side technical bench, thinking that they can salvage by giving up some few players who are in. And
I think Coach Baraza just played around with the rotation and made sure that 3 attackers were in front, and the center coming in for Wavinya, who plays opposite, and Pauline, who is the opposite, coming in for Joy Dusenaka, who was on the front court. It can prove to be a really good move, though from the look of the set, the scores right now, it might be a little too late, seeing that DCI is leading by 5 points. That's quite a huge number, going past the 20-point mark.
so the prison sides have to at least try and see how they can at least move towards the 20-point mark and eventually close up the gap to the DCI counterparts. I think there's confusion with the rotation. I think this substitution has made it quite confusing for Coach Baraza, so that she can pick up.
And it's a good thing that the coach can actually ask for the rotation order from the referee to rectify on that mistake, as opposed to now
It's
losing
a rotation error, I think,
point.
by it's not seen by the referees, but I think it was a fault, but the play goes on.
Sadui, Pamela, still in play. Sarah with that dodge. Pauline picks it. Pamela with that spin. That ball.
Nice pick by Lorraine. And it's a block by the DCI side.
And they hit the 24-point mark, placing them in a good position to pick this second set.
Hoping that they maintain. It was at this point yesterday where they were at the 24-point mark, but on the first set with the game with Kenya Commercial Bank, I think they well managed. And nice pick by Jemima, and it's a quick conversion by Sarah Namisi, giving DCI a set against the Kenya Prisons women's side.
Well, that was the end of the second set of the first match of the day between DCI and Kenya Prisons ladies volleyball team. That set going to DCI at 25-19. First set having gone to Prisons Kenya 25-21. We will be sharing the set statistics in a few.
It's quite a positive start by the DCI side, having lost concentration yesterday with the Kenya Commercial Bank side, but today, by the look of things, they well managed. So the second match statistics are as follows, where we have the Kenya Prison sides with 19 points, while the DCI side have 25 points. On attacks, I think Kenya Prison side are superior with 13 attacks, while the DCI side have 11 attacks. On the blocks, Kenya Prisons are superior still with 1 block, while DCI have none. Service SS DCI have 2, which is one more than the Kenya Prison side. And the opponent's error, where DCI, I think, gained more, where Kenya Prisons gave them 12 points, while DCI had 4 errors, giving the Kenya Prison side only 4 points compared to 12, which they were awarded by the Kenya Prison side. We are back with the third set. I think it's a quite fast, not the good impression DCI expected, with an error leading to Kenya Prisons picking the first point. So they have to compose themselves so that they can at least get this second set and have an edge. Service by the Kenya Prison side, not one of the best picks, which leads to an reception error by Marion Indeche, giving the Kenya Prison side the second score. Nice attack by Marion Indeche, giving DCI the first score. It's a game that we really need to see. I think for Kevin Ruto, congratulations for having scooped the award by Trailblazers Volleyball Club and giving us a call, and you giving us the details on how you're going to get your merchandise. So it's very good of you. Keep participating and see how we're going to get more coins are going to come as the day goes by, and see how people are going to get the Trailblazers merchandise by answering the questions within the 90 seconds that we are going to give you. It's a softball to the Kenya Prison side, and
McLean.
Nice point by the setter. It's quite a game that we expect, having shared the points as of now, and it's a serve error by McLean. I think she is in place of Joy. I think she has gained the good trust of Coach Baraza for her to maintain this set. Service by the DCI, which is quite disturbing to the Prison side. Nice pick by the DCI side.
Simple finish. Who will it be?
And it's a block by Lauren. What is a one? I can say one woman block on Sarah Namisi, and it's giving the point to the Kenya Prison sides. Service by Kenya Prison side through Wavinya. Quite a response by Sarah, having been blocked previously, and getting a point for the DCI side. So the DCI side have to maintain the lead. If they have to surpass the Kenya Prison side, and it's, I can say, luck by the DCI side. I think people say when your ball touches the net and falls onto the opponent's court, it means that you prayed in the morning. So I think Caroline Sirengo prayed really hard in the morning, so that his ball crossed. A good pick by Maron Indeche, I think. And I think the DCI side expected Sarah Namisi to quickly convert that ball and easily getting them a score, leading the scores to a 5-5 apiece scoreline. Nice pick by Sarah Namisi. And a very strong attack by Mercy. She's actually proving and showing that she is not a one-game wonder, and she's actually playing well, hoping she can maintain that form in this whole game. I think it's a touch on the block, which is quite clever by Chela from the prison side. Service from the prison side through Pauline. I think she has maintained her position inside. A quick change on the lineup by Coach Joseph Baraza. And it
went out.
I think
The second referee almost awarded that point to.
I think the DCI side are in quick despair, thinking that point is theirs.
Very unfortunate for them. It really doesn't work out in their
And it's a service error by the Kenya prison side. The normal norm in a game when a referee doesn't give you that side and it's an error by the opponents in the following rally. It usually said that hiyo point ilikuwa yetu.
Yes, indeed.
I think
There's
that is
always,
what is running across the minds of people.
And if a player is not careful enough, they may lose concentration and equally lose a match because of sticking to one particular event instead of accepting and moving forward.
So that's where we have a good place that you can, as a coach, find one of your best players who can quickly transit from an error and quickly move on and try to see how.
It seems to have been a net touch.
I think it's a cross or a net touch.
We're not sure who will be getting that point.
I think they've awarded the Kenya prison side.
Prisons getting that point. Philip Marcus anasema watching from Netherlands. Mutuma Mutunga Lorraine Kenya Prisons should be the MVP. Richard responding to Victoria's earlier.
And it's a very, very, very bad error by Chela, leading to DCI getting the score.
Richard was responding to Victoria. I believe she just saw your reply. Mokaya Gogo Prisons, honest mans. Kudos DCI, fight for it.
Quite tricky play by Wavinya to earn a score for the prison side. It's a 2-point lead by the Kenya Prisons women's side. Service by Chela towards Penina, which is not the best of the picks, and it's a quick, simple ball to the prison side and a quick transition by Lorraine to earn the prison side a point. So the DCI side have to be well conversant with their reception, which is quite costly to them, seeing that they are losing scores. And it's an attack by Caroline Sirengo. I think it's almost on top of the blocks and hitting at the far end of the pitch, hence giving a score to the DCI side, reducing the scores to a 2-score margin. Service by DCI by Mumbua. I think it's a touch on the block on the DCI part. I think this gives Bora a very, very big headache, but they look at his expression touching his head. So he has to find a way that he is going to pick this set and eventually pick the other set. And it's another continuous, and it's a second error in a row by the prison side setter, serving it off the pitch.
McLean struggling to set that ball.
Which is an error by the DCI side. Looking by the expression of the coach's side, I think he's telling the ladies to please talk and pick that ball. So I think it's a communication error by. It's a nice recovery by.
Well played, McLean.
Good rally. And a quick attack
Sirengo.
in the middle by Caroline Sirengo. I think Jemima comes in for Marion Indeche. Yeah, it's a substitution by the DCI side where Jemima Siango comes in for Marion Indeche. I think at some point Indeche lost some concentration, but I think it's for the greater good of the team. Service by Caroline Sirengo, which is good, well picked by Wavinya. Nice pick by Sirengo.
Mbua.
And a very good conversion by Sarah Namisi. I think this year, if they maintain this self-esteem and the morale that they have, I think they can please get on to par with the prison side. Service still by DCI by Sarah Caroline Sirengo. And a quick tip by Lorraine on top of the 3 blocks, ensuring that they maintain their 2-point lead. Not of the best attacks by Mercy. Trying to salvage. And it's another tip over to the space by Pamela Masaisai, making DCI to have a timeout since it's not going as they expected. So the DCI team have to pull up their socks and catch up with the prison sides, which don't look to give up very early on this set.
And we're back after that timeout. Kenya Prison still in the lead. Well picked by Mercy. Sarah on fire today. Simple tap, Loreen, the dunk by Joan Chelagat. Another point for Prisons Kenya, who now stand at 16 points against DCI 12.
I think they've realized that using a lot of power onto this DCI part, this DCI team is going to cost them. So I think they're using just tips, simple touch, and they're quickly converting into. And it's an error by Sarah.
Very expensive one. Very expensive error there. Could be the excitement and adrenaline that has been building up on the DCI side,
which they have to reduce it. Hence, it's gonna be costly in. And it's another block by the Kenya Prison sides, hence extending the scores to 18-12. I think Coach Daniel Bor brings in a change in the setters department. Jane Mumbu out, Benedict Chepngetich comes in place of Jane Mumbua, hoping that she can make a difference in this part. And it's a service error by Lorraine. I think the substitute I think reduced the tempo of Lorraine's service, which she was consistent for a very, very long time under the 4 scores. So I think Mercy serving for the DCI part. Nice pick by Wavinya, and pick by it's Pauline. A quick side out onto the DCI block, giving them a 6-point lead. Coach Jos Baraza substitution. I think it's the same substitution that he did in the second set. Sorry, where Joy comes in for the opposite, and the opposite in front is the setter in front gives the substitute to the opposite. Nice pick by DCI, Sarah Namisi. Nice pick by Wavinya.
Pamela.
The other side. A save. And it's a touch. I think Jemima thought that the block touched the ball and is trying to save.
It really looked like it was flying out of play. Jemima trying to save that. Unfortunately, she loses it. Joy Lusenaka with the service. Jemima not so well received. Mercy. Lorraine. Lois.
And it's out of play. I think she tried to get the touch onto, I think it was Sarah's hands. Yeah, because as of now, Sarah is going for the service.
Again, the same score margin that had earlier been experienced during the second set, or rather first set. 20 Prisons, 14 DCI. Mercy failing, or rather her teammates failing to help out in saving that ball despite the challenge in the manner in which Mercy picked that ball. Seems to be a timeout
by the DCI part. I think they're trying to kill the tempo of which the prison sides have. So the DCI, I think they've lost some concentration a bit on these set. I think by the look of the technical bench, they're trying to talk to them, telling them please try and concentrate so that you can at least move. It's not late. 21 is quite not a distance, but this is the prison's women's side. They cannot just stay there and wait for DCI to catch up to them.
Well, Jos Baraza is bringing on the experienced Lydia Mayo in place for Pamela. Maya is going on to serve. She also is well known for her solid backcourt defense. That also comes in handy to solidify that, and praying or hoping that the front row line of attack will deliver. There it is, a challenge in reception. Jemima managing to kill that serve and taking out Mayo's position from the service court.
Pamela comes back in, I think for reception, having seen that Maya she's an opposite. In comes change by the DCI part. Paris goes out. Let's wait. It's 6-point shy from the DCI side. Good service. Nice pick by Wavinya.
Nobody there to finish it. Lorraine. Wavinya picks it. Will it be Wavinya?
Nice pick by the DCI side.
Jemima doing well to make that finish. It's a backcourt attack by Lorraine. one of the few center blockers who actually double up as backcourt attackers. Very interesting there.
Back to the 7. And it's an error by Sarah Namisi on the reception side, which is costly. By the expression on the DCI players, they quite don't expect Sarah to make it's like an error at a point where they are trailing by almost 8 scores.
Chela with that service.
And
solid block, Lauren. I think Lauren could as well be well positioned to get the best blockers award. Coming in closely is also Triza Tuka and also Lydia of Kenya Pipeline, who have been constant in the center blocking department. Of course, as it is right now, Mercy is still well poised for the most valuable player, if not the best attacker.
It's quite effective by how she has played, and it's not one of the powerful attacks by Sirengo, but a score to the DCI team. Service to the DCI team. Jane Mumbua to the service. Tricky service, but nice pick by Mumbua. I think it's a simple ball to and I think it's an 4-touch violation to
The player seeking some guidance
from
the referee. Unfortunately doesn't change anything. That marks the end of the third set in favor of Prisons Kenya. The score margins having gone lower for DCI. There seems to be a problem on that side, losing it at 25-16. Kenya Prisons pocketing 2 sets now. DCI at 1 set. DCI can likely pick 1 more set and take this to the 5th set. If they don't, Prisons Kenya pockets the 3 points. DCI leaving these competitions with no points.
They have to try and at least salvage a set so that they can get a point. If eventually they can win this match, they will have 2 points.
And there we have it, the set 3 statistics. 25 for Prisons Kenya, DCI 16, attacks 8, DCI 15, Kenya Prisons, blocks 3 for Prisons Kenya, DCI none, service ace 3, Kenya Prisons 1, DCI, opponent's error, DCI at 7, Prisons Kenya at 4. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for the interactive sessions that we're having on our platform. This is match 1 of the day. Remember that the next match coming up is the decider match for number 3 and 4 for the men's side. KPA facing it off with KDF. So far, Kenya Prisons have managed to pick 2 sets. DCI only 1. If Prisons pick this, then it's match over. KPC will be facing it off with the KCB at 2 p.m. and later at 4 we will be witnessing the final match of the day and the competitions. GSU facing it off with Prisons Kenya. Keep it locked for the start of the 4th set.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back in the fourth set and see how it's going to be. BCI need to win this set in order for them to go for a 5-set thriller. For Prison, they're chasing this set in order to wrap up this game. That was a nice block from Mercy, giving them an edge, meaning they need this set very well. Quick back 7 attack by Lauren. I think DCI need to be well conversant with the speed that Lauren possesses, which is quite effective in her attack. Service by Joy from the Prison side. Well picked by Marion. And an error by Mercy. I think she thought it was a quick middle attack. She can play as a middle, so I think from the play, I think they had planned for her to play. And a very solid block by Lauren onto Marion Indeche, which makes it a 2-point lead to the Kenya Prison side. DCI need to pull up the socks for them to at least pick up the set by reducing the errors in which they are playing. And an attack by Mercy, which is deflected off Pamela's side by the block. For those wishing to come and watch this game live, we are at the Moi International Indoor Stadium. An untimely misjudgment by Elizabeth, the libero of the Kenya Prisons women's side, leading to an S by Marion Indeche. And if you want to watch us live and get the experience of the Trailblazers Volleyball Club platform, onto our YouTube channel at Trailblazers Volleyball Club. And a pick by the Prison side, which is a misjudgment too by Marion Indeche, thinking that the ball was coming very hard and almost hitting her on the face. I think they have to regain their self-esteem that they had on the second set for them to win these. And it's a block by the Prison sides. I think Mercy tried to evade the ball, thinking it was going out of play, but it eventually caught up with her.
Well, an observation by James Otieno that the match between KPA and KDF might not just be a determinant of the third and second place. I do believe that you're right. Indeed, General Service Unit has 3 points. They lost the second match against Kenya Ports Authority. They will be having their third and final match today. Well, apologies for that. KPA again has 3 points, so they tie with General Service Unit. I think the outcome of the match between KPA and KDF and GSU and Prisons will determine which of the two has more points compared to the other. Remember that Prisons Kenya is only looking for 2 sets to take the title. Thank you for that correction, James Otieno.
It's quite evident by the calculations that you can do as a player or as a team and seeing how it goes. By the way, my colleague Flora said it's not quite over, because if KPA wins their game and pick up the 3 points, and Prisons, who if they can lose the game to the General Service Unit, where it can be a costly situation to them. So Prisons only need 2 sets for them to pick a point, for them to be the eventual champions of the competition, whereas KPA are well dependent on their win against KDF and the eventual results between the General Service Unit and the Kenya Prisons side, which is not over until the last match.
And I also think that for the matches today, especially on the men's side, it's very important for our team to win convincingly. Maybe take 3-0, because either way we're going to go back to the table. We're going to go back and look at those points, because every team seems to have either conceded a set or a loss that was of 3 straight sets. So winning matches today, if you're going to win straight sets, you cannot afford to risk losing points, because that might be costly when we go back to look at the final standings and get to know who is who. Well, at a disadvantaged point currently is Kenya Defence Forces with just a set of all the matches they played, so they do not have any points. Every other team has a point. They don't. It was a 3-1 loss.
They went with the 3-2 with the General Service Unit the first day.
It was a 5-setter?
Yeah, it was a 5-setter.
Wasn't it a 3-0?
No, the 3-0 was
3-1 case.
The 3-0 case was with
the Kenya Prisons.
Kenya Prisons, but
well,
with GS,
with GSU, so currently they also have a point.
Yeah.
And every other team having what? GSU has 2 from that. They lost their second match, so they have 2 points.
Come in second.
Again, depending on lose the match they have left, only managing 2 points of the 3 points. So like I said, any loss of a set will be costly.
DCI aren't playing the way they expected to be playing. I think
they cannot concede a point, seeing that DCI already have a set. Pamela was out. Was there a touch on that ball? There was no touch.
There was no touch.
Despite that celebration, unfortunately, the point goes to DCI. Mumbua goes on to serve for DCI, currently trailing by 3 points. They have been known to make major comebacks. They did the same during the second set. Anything is possible. Loreen.
Nice pick by the DCI side. Quite of a confusion.
Again,
communication. It's a very key aspect in volleyball, but people tend to assume it since it's a game where in your court you are 6 players, so you have to communicate well for you guys to eventually play one ball, which is controlled by almost 12 players. So if you don't communicate well, this might be an eventual lead to injuries.
Joy Lusenaka serving for Prisons Kenya at 13 points now. DCI at 10 points. Marion Indeche with that powerful hit right on the ground of the Prisons Kenya volleyball team's side of the court. Well played by Punina. Oh, again.
And again, communication, which I think we have as teams talk about it and see how it goes. So I think it's among the key inputs that we have to put into consideration. It's a service error by the Kenya Prisons women's side.
Well, DCI have reduced that margin to just 2 points. Pamela saving it. Loreen dismantling that 3-man block of Paris, Sarah, and Mercy.
Still a 3-point lead from the Kenya prison side. The way we said, communication. I think if Mambua had just told the backup players that she cannot arrive on the ball quite early, they could have assisted her. But I think the libero must put up his A game so that she can receive it well.
There is again
communication. As you can see, it's really costing the DCI side. Hence a timeout by Coach Daniel Bor.
Prisons still in the lead at 17 points against 12 of DCI. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for commenting. Mokaya is solidly behind Prisons Kenya. James, with that correction that the match between Prisons Kenya and KPA ended with a 3-1 win in favor of Prisons. Well, that said, will come in handy should any eventuality happen. Ray Sitati wishing DCI a win from Bungoma following. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love the fact that you take time to watch these matches and engage us. Kumbuka kwamba we have just given away the first gift of the day for this match. That question on the road to Paris. Rono has reached out. Thank you so much for reaching out and letting us know how we will get your gift to you. Keep it locked. The next match between KPA and Kenya Defense Forces will also have another trivia question. And the rule is answer within 90 seconds and you get yourself either a hoodie or a t-shirt, as long as you choose whichever one you prefer. Here with that service, Mercy.
I think a lot of thoughts is running through Daniel Bor's head right now. She's quite thinking on how he is going to build up this team again, meaning that they have to go back to the drawing board and see how they're going to come back strong, having just we're going to conclude these.
Wavinya,
Nice pick.
a new face for DCI there.
And it's an out attack by Lauren, I guess. Service by Vivian. Good pick. And I think it's an attack out by the DCI side, Sarah and Namisi, eventually giving the point to the Kenya prison side. Nice pick by the libero, and it's a touch onto the block by a quick attack by Sarah Namisi. I think they're trying to save this game. It's not all over. 4-point lead is not that far. They need to at least move and close that range for them to look like they have a chance to save this game. Nice pick by the Kenya Prison sides, which is a chance ball to the DCI side.
Marion.
And a conversion by Marion Indeche. By the look of things, the way we've said, they need to loosen and reduce the gap back to at least a lower rate. This leads to the Kenya Prison side calling for a timeout. It seems to be very hot outside. Seeing Coach Azenga coming in to call a timeout at the second referee's disposal, which he is required to ring the bell. But
a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure.
Especially in this match. I think the Prison's technical bench know what DCI is capable of. And
Yeah.
if they equalize these scores, especially so close to 20 points, then it's possible that gaining points won't stop until they reclaim the set. You go to a 5-setter, they lose a point.
I think the last game they played, they went for a 5-set thriller. I think it's a set violation by Joel Senaka. As we said, it's now a 2-point lead by the Kenya Prison side. They really need to get a timeout. Not a timeout, a side out, sorry, for them to reach the 20-point mark. And then it's a service error by Sarah Namisi, which is quite untimely and costly by the team, leading the Prison's women's side to enter the 20-point mark, which is making them closer towards the 25-point mark.
Yvonne Ovinya goes on to serve for Prisons. They are at 20 points, looking for 5 points to take this without losing a point. Both teams putting up a fight. Pamela Masaisai, and it's out.
Silas Cheren, hakuna matangazo ya Kiswahili, hii kizungu inanichanganya. Speaking on behalf of my neighbor, otherwise good work. We'll put into consideration, I think, from the next game. It's a good thing that you said. Tutajaribu to at least
tunaweza kutafuta mkalimani ambaye ataweza kuwaeleza matangazo haya kwa lugha ya Kiswahili. Nonetheless, thank you for tuning in again. Communication, lack of communication costing the DCI side. Prisons Kenya 21, DCI 18.
If they had communicated well, I think it was a very good and a very nice time Mumbo to set that ball to the outside hitter, and eventually they could have gotten a quick transition. Another error by,
well, who will it be? Loreen
again. Quick back attack by Loreen. I think Penina, the libero of DCI, she's questioning herself on how she is eventually getting a lot of reception errors, having been this is her specialty.
Still in play, is it? No,
No.
it is not. There seems to have been a net violation that has costed the Prison side still in the lead, 3 points ahead, 3 points to call this wrap. Lois Deposque, Loreen, Joy, still trusting on Loreen, who goes on to deliver that point.
I think Loreen has been the star of this game. She has actually carried Prisons Kenya women's side on her back. Service by Joy. See if she'll eventually get something out of her service. And
Marion Indeche being very instrumental in making points for DCI in today's match. We did see quite a lot of that on the previous matches. It really is encouraging to see that you're called upon to make a change and actually go ahead to lead this team. Not so much coming from Mercy, who has been substituted.
And it's a tricky play by Sarah Namisi, leading to a timeout by the prison sides. The way we've said, the last meeting between the Kenya prison side and the DCI side ended in a 5-set thriller. This shows that Coach Zenga and Coach Baraza know this DCI side very well, and it will be very, very quite unfortunate if DCI pick up this set and eventually winning the game, which will be a blame onto their side, since they really, really need this game to at least, I think, move a step closer to the podium finish.
Well, DCI not quite fighting the way I would expect them to. They're really throwing in some punches and some kicks at this point, but only that if they would have started early enough and maintained that momentum, I think they would be best placed to actually improve on their standings for the playoffs. Net violation. And match point actually for Prisons Kenya. Pamela stepping out. In comes Shireen Jepkemboy, the former captain of the junior team of the Malkia Strikers.
Let's see how it goes. Prisons are shy of 1, 2, and it's a quick and a dead block by Lorraine onto Caroline Sirengo, ensuring that the Prisons side are the eventual winners of this match between the Kenya Prisons women's side and the Directorate of Criminal Investigation team.
And hearty congratulations for Kenya Prisons volleyball team ladies for winning this match. This places them at the 3rd position, having lost 2 matches earlier on. We are yet to find out who takes it between KCB and Kenya Pipeline. The final set results are as it is on your screen: 25-21 in favor of Prisons, 19-25 in favor of DCI. Prisons takes the 3rd and 4th set, 25-16, 25-21 to take the 3 points and settle for 3rd place. DCI unfortunately once again go home having taken the 4th position. And here are the match statistics.
Match statistics for the whole match. Kenya Prisons have 94 points, whereas DCI have 83 points. On their track sides, Kenya Prisons are superior with 58 points, whereas DCI have 45. On the block sides, Kenya Prisons still are superior with 9 blocks, while DCI have 2. Service aces, Prisons still on top with 7 aces, and the DCI side with 5. But the look of things, opponent era, DCI have gained more with 31, and the Kenya Prison sides have 20 points from the DCI side. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for the start of the second match of the day between KPA and Kenya Defence Forces. That match will be coming to you shortly. Keep it locked and looking forward to seeing you. Remember, there will be goodies being given at that match. Once again, if you're not in Mo International Sports Center, please make your way there. Otherwise, we will be here to bring you the matches live and direct. I am Florence Bosire.
And I am Luke Opeto.